Welcome. In this video, you learn how to create a Windows agent package in Snow Atlas using the Package Builder tool. By the end, you'll have a complete installation package ready for deployment in your environment. Before starting, make sure you have a valid Snow Agent config file. If needed, you can download a pre-built template and customize it to match your environment. Further details on how to access these templates will be shown later in this tutorial. Moving on, as a brief introduction, the Package Builder lets you generate installation packages for Snow Inventory agents, including Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Unix, that feed inventory data into Snow Atlas's SAM core. However, you must ensure you have access to Snow Atlas and the appropriate permissions to use the Package Builder. To view details in regards to this, please visit our Snow Products documentation site. Let's begin. Once you're logged into Snow Atlas, navigate to the Tools bar. Select the Applications menu and click. From the drop-down list, choose the Package Builder. You will now be presented with the Agent Packages list table. This table is currently empty because we have not yet created an agent, but this is the very same table which will populate once you've created your agent. Now from here, we will click on the Create Installation Package button to move over to the agent creation screen. Now that we are in the new installation package screen, here's where we can create our Windows agent and also configure settings relevant to the package. Before doing so, we must ensure that we have either an existing Snow Agent config file saved in our environment, and if you do not have an existing Snow Agent config file, we will need to download a template, which is available if you scroll over to the right and click on the help icon. You will see a GitHub repository. This is where we have uploaded templates, standard templates for our Snow agents. And then this includes Windows. From the list of templates, choose the Windows folder and click. And from the list available, choose snowagent.config. This is the file that you can now download. It is a standard Windows template with the default settings. And if you click on the download icon on your top right, you can download this file. Make sure once you are filling the config file for Windows or any agent for that matter, you must always make sure the three mandatory fields are filled in. This includes the site name, config name, and the endpoint URL. We can now start creating our agent package. We'll start off by giving the package a name. In my case, I will call it Windows Standard. However, you're free to name the agent appropriate to your needs. If we scroll down, this is where we will choose the OS. So we will choose the operating system specific to the agent we are creating. In this case, we are creating the Windows package. So if we scroll down in the platform drop down, you will see the inventory agent for Windows option. So you can choose Windows here, and right next you will get a list of the available Snow Agent versions. I will stick with the latest available. Further down, you have the opportunity to select the architecture you want the files to download in and relevant to your environment. In my case, I will choose 86. Now further moving down to the scanning modules for Windows, here we can provide a number of files and scripts, scanning modules that you can add to the package to give the agent additional capabilities. You can learn more about these scanning modules for Windows by simply clicking on the help icon represented by a question mark. And on the right-hand pane, you will see a link for the scanning modules. Once clicked, this will take you to documentation, which will give you much greater detail on what each of these modules represent. The first up is the standard. The standard section contains scripts that most often should be included in the installation package for the Windows. These scripts are selected by default in the package builder, so I will leave them as enable. You can always take a look of what these scripts are by clicking on the link beside it, and you can remove any if needed. However, I'm going to keep the standard selection. Up next is the Java module. This section contains the Snow Inventory Java scanner and related files and scripts. In my case, I would like to have capabilities to be able to scan for Java, so I will enable them. Moving up next would be the Oracle module. This section contains Oracle-related scanners such as the Snow Inventory Oracle Scanner, Snow Inventory Oracle Middleware Scanner, Snow Inventory Oracle Hardware Scanner, and associated related files and scripts. In this example, we will not include the Oracle Scanner ability since we do not need it. We will move next to the Server module. This section contains scripts for Microsoft Productivity servers. In my example, I'm creating a Windows package for a Windows client machine, so I will not be needing these scripts. However, if you wish to see what these scripts are, you can always enable and then click on Customize and View and add or deselect any that you require or don't require. In my example, I will not be using any, so I will disable this. Going next is the additional module. The additional module is more of a miscellaneous list of scripts that can be deemed useful. If you click on the customize button, you can see the window appear on the right, and you can see a list down here of various scripts that may be useful to your environment. So you can go through these and enable any that you require. Additionally, in this section, we can instruct the agent to collect custom registry keys by clicking on the tick box here. In my case, I will leave everything as default and save. Up next is the file section. Here is the section where we will upload our snowagent.config file that has been prepared and saved on our environment. So if you look at the bottom, there's a button here which says Browse File. So just simply click on Browse File, and this will open Windows Explorer, and you can then locate the snowagent config file you've saved. In my case, I've located it. I'll double click, and the file has been uploaded, which is indicated by a green tick mark here. This green check mark not only validates that the format is correct, which should be .config, otherwise the agent, the snow agent config won't get accepted, but it also validates that the contents within the snow agent config file have been filled in, which are mandatory, such as the site name, the config name, and the endpoint URL. Since the snow agent config file has been validated, we are ready to create the agent. However, I do want to touch base on the option which shows at the bottom. This is in regards to uploading additional files for custom purposes, and you can enable and add additional files here, which you can learn about if you click on the question mark icon next to the files here. And on the top right, in the right hand pane, you will see a link for additional files and scripts. And you can click this link to learn more about this feature. In our case, we will skip this since we don't need. We're creating a standard agent. So now that everything has been filled in and configured, you can see on the top right corner, there's a create button available. So just scroll to the top right and click on create, and that will start the agent building process. So now I have clicked on the create button. As you can see in the agent packages dashboard, our agent is listed and the package status is displaying the current state of the building process. Now that the status has been changed to available for download, this agent is available for download. And the way we download it is by going to the checkbox next to the Windows package created. So just click on that. And on the top right, there's an Actions button menu here. So if you just click on the Actions menu, you will see an option for Download Package. Click on the Download Package button to begin downloading, and then save your created package to a location of your choice. In my case, I'm saving it to the desktop, and your agent has now been saved. So now you have it. You've now seen how to create a Windows agent using the package builder in Snow Atlas. This package can now be deployed across your Windows devices to begin collecting inventory data. Thanks for watching.